na tarajia tutaendelea kuwa na mikutano kama hizi na za zaidi. Hii proposal ilipoletwa kwenu ama Alex alipokuja nao, chairman alipokuja nao Kenya, the proposal I had was a bit more comprehensive than this, but it was reduced to a sitting conference. So I hope that if we present another proposal and it goes to probably the COG, sijui hizo nilitoka Kenya kabla devolution ikuje. What I devolution bado nuke. So I hope if we present a new proposal to COG on how we can do an event that can engage more people, the way you are receptive to this, I hope you will also be receptive to that new proposal so that we can have a more engaging session, because like you see, there's not enough time for the back and forth, and like His Excellency from Nyandarua say, the counties need to market themselves more. I have an idea of how we can do this, so I will present it. I already have the proposal written down and everything, so I will give it to a couple of the governors. If I get your email, I can email it to you, then you can look at it. It's something that might interest you, a way of you coming to tell us the opportunities that are there in a more informal setting, where we are outside then. Probably you have your own stand and you have your people that are explaining to people the opportunities available in your counties. But I would like to just express my appreciation to all of you for coming and for taking the opportunity to be with us and to mingle with us and to share with us your time. Vile tushaambiwa na tukikuja Kenya kuwaona ni ngori.
Thank you. Several questions have been directed to me. Number one, the issue concerning SACCO and land. The current law, to the best of my knowledge, allows SACCOs to buy and own land and subdivide it amongst its members. So therefore, I disagree with that position that has been said there. And number two, the issue of the right to vote. I was a member of the National Assembly Legal and Justice Affairs Committee, and one of the reasons that Kenyans in the diaspora has been unable to vote is because IBC made an announcement, people to come and register, and there was little or quite minimal response from people in the diaspora. So the stations that were created by the IBC in the last elections were few on the basis of a lack of good response from people in the diaspora. So therefore, going forward, once there is such kind of announcement, please come in numbers. Maybe you are cheated by the IBC, but if you are cheated, probably you can do that representation to the National Assembly or even to the Senate and say, no, that is not the correct position. We can always compel IBC to establish a polling center right here in Dallas. We have that power. Number three, there is the issue concerning the processes to create a business. That was a presentation that was made by my brother here. He was saying that it's quite lengthy to establish a business in Kenya. It's no longer the case. We amended the Companies Act, we amended the Bankruptcy Act, we made these procedures to be quite simple, including, for instance, previously, it was a requirement of the law that you must be at least be 2 directors to form a company. Currently, it's only 1. Previously, it was a requirement you must involve an advocate or what we call certified public secretary to open a limited company. Currently, you don't require that. You only have to fill up some forms at the Attorney General's office. I happen to be a corporate lawyer in Kenya. If you require those services, I'm going to offer for you for free. So therefore, the law has been changed. It's quite easy now to establish those positions. And finally, if you want to invest, Murang'a County has very good areas when it comes to agro-business. That is exporting tea, exporting agriculture products like avocado, exporting things to do with coffee, or even milk, or any other thing that has to do with agro-processing. So if you're interested, you can as well contact me. Finally, on Wednesday, I've been told there will be a major party at a place called Masai Grill, that is from 7 to Bakache, and the DJ will be my brother here. So you are all invited to Masai Grill on Wednesday. Everyone, music, Kenyan music, Lingala, whatever, reggae music like that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, most of the issues on investment were directed at national government. I just want to bring a few highlights, and then here Senator has brought it in front. First of all, in 2014, the government established a business environment delivery unit to address challenges facing investors in the country. The unit has representatives from all ministries and focus on bureaucratic debts related to setting up and doing business. Number two, in September 2015, as I alluded earlier, President Kenyatta signed into law Registration of Business Services Act 2015. This is aimed at strengthening Kenya's position as a destination for investor and for investment. This has been devolved to counties, so please don't fear about bureaucratic red tapes. It has been eliminated. An investment guide to Kenya, also referred to iGuide Kenya, designed by International Chamber of Commerce, provide investors with up-to-date information on business costs, licensing requirements, opportunities, and conditions in developing countries. The GOK does not restrict investors from investing abroad. Rather, in East Africa, advocates for free movements of capital in 6 member states, Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda. The government of Kenya prioritizes investment retention and maintains ongoing dialogue with investors. All bills must pass through a period of public consultation in which investors have an opportunity to offer feedback. This is what we call public participation. And most recently, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta, had meetings. He has occasional meetings with KEPSA, members of Kenya Private Sector Alliance. The last meeting is what culminated in the intense fighting of counterfeit goods, which you have already seen happening in Kenya. So all these things are meant to make it easy for you. However, the government does not have a policy to steer investment to specific geographic locations, but encourages investment in sectors that create employment, generate foreign exchange, and create forward and backward linkages with the rural areas. Please mark those things and you'll never go wrong. And if you feel when you arrive in Kenya and you feel you are running into problem, the Ministry of Devolution and ASAN, we were created to just link the counties and the national government. We are there for you. Otherwise, karibuni nyumbani. Forgive about my attitude issue. I felt I should mention to make it easier for you. I know everybody has been referring to. Don't you worry, we are there for you and we will definitely receive you. Thank you.
In conclusion, I just want to give 2 challenges to the governors as in their capacities as executives of counties. And my question is, you as a governor, how do you like to be remembered when you finish your term? There are 2 things in life that you'll be remembered for. The first one is for the solutions you have solved, and the other one is for the problems you have created. And I just want to take that to you as a challenge, and for sure just give one example. I'll never forget the work of one minister in Kenya, the late Minister Michuki. He brought discipline in transportation and he cleaned Nairobi River. If one person, and it takes just one person to make that difference, if one person can make that difference, and we have all these governors who are executives of counties, I'm just challenging you, how would you like to be remembered? What problem will you be remembered to have solved when you are in office? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you once again for this opportunity. So I'm going to touch on education because I'm very passionate about it, and I want to make sure that I really echo on that, on education and how we can create sustainable resources. So this is the thing, education not just about schools, but we need to make sure that we're educating our people, our young people, through the TV, through the radio, through the newspaper, any outlet in the media, like creating movies that are actually great, you know. The thing is, like, we're feeding our young people with, I don't want to say this, I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm just going to say it. We're feeding so many of our young people with a lot of garbage, to be honest with you, on TV nowadays, that is just focused on tearing each other down. And then that's why we end up having a lot of issues with mental health, because they suffer with comparing each other and trying to compete and live a lifestyle that, you know, we try to create shows like Kardashians, and we don't need that. We're very unique. We need to be creating TV ideas that actually feed our young people and talk about real issues, talk about health, talk about finances, talk about like what we can be doing, talk about what happens to the government. So it's just to challenge all of us to really think about things like that, to talk about domestic violence that happens every day in almost every home in Kenya. So we need to really be really real and transparent. And then another thing, I really want to call all the young people to awaken. I know we're there somewhere. I want to call all of you to awaken and join hands with us, honestly, and know that there is nothing for you without you. And that's including each and every person in this room. There is nothing for you without you. Like, if you hear someone is doing something, please be encouraged to support them. I know my friend says she's going to Kenya for 6 months, and she asked who here wants to partner, and I only saw 2 hands raised up. So let's just challenge each other to really want to partner with the individuals wanting to come home. Myself, I'm going to be coming home too, and I'm willing to train teachers because that's my field. I'm willing to train people in the media because I've gone to school for that. So we need to really encourage each other and see how we can work together. And also, like I'm gonna say this because every time I get a chance, I am a voice for these children. Again, I am building a school and a home for these children in Kawangware. If you would like to partner with me, please join me and help support. You can support financially. You can also support by coming home and really getting your hands dirty and making sure that these kids' future are bright. Someone somewhere is depending on your obedience. Someone somewhere is depending on your yes. So thank you so much again for this opportunity. I love these conversations. We're going somewhere, and I know that Kenya's future is very bright. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think a number of the issues that I would have wanted to respond to have been responded to by a few of my colleagues, but particularly on this voting element, I think as long as voting in Kenya is manual, it's going to take us a very long time to be able to have every Kenyan in the diaspora to vote. So I think maybe the best way for us is to ensure that we move towards electronic voting so that we're able to, allow you to participate in the elections, not manually, because going manual would be very, very expensive, and that can be, affordable, would not be affordable to us. But there is one particular escapist statement that was made by somebody that you can't invest in Kenya because you don't vote there. We have a lot of investors investing millions and billions of their money in Kenya and they don't vote. So I think really let's divorce that. You can come as an investor, look for your business, ask us to make that the process and the environment is friendly to you as an investor so that you don't tie your investment with voting. I think that is a bit too simplistic, as it were. You either choose to come as an investor, then fight for your right to vote in Kenya, whether you invest or not. I think that those two things must be separate. There is a whole conversation in our country right now about the cost of implementing the constitution and governance as it is. And I think it is an important discussion that we can be able to engage in a short while when our constitution turns 10 or 15 or 20. I think a conversation as to amending this constitution is alive in the country right now. And I think it is important for us to feed into it. Are we overrepresented? Do we need to cut down on a few organs? I think that is an open discussion that can go on. Finally, there is a whole lamentation about lack of information as to what is available in our country. I will tell you for a fact that ICT is taking root in our country. whatever opportunity that you need and whatever information you need about our country, if you went to the internet, most likely you will find. And since you people are here, let's also take advantage of that. I'm sure all the 47 counties, all the government entities, parastatals, and opportunity have all of them have their website, they have information. Let us feed in and be able to, learn, so that you don't hear stories of I was conned. I think really due diligence, and if you are so keen about ICT, you can be able to get a lot of things about Kenya in the internet. Finally, feeding garbage. I think also you have an opportunity to contribute to serious debates in our country. In fact, if you go to Kenya today, very few people use television, the TV. We are on social media. That is where a lot of discussions, debates, about all these things. You can be able to participate from where you are. So let us be part and parcel of our country. Let us contribute. Let us critique positively with the intention that we can build our country. Let us shape the future of our country, because at the end of the day, it all rests on all of us. That responsibility, our governors will come and go, 10 years, 5 years. Politicians are there today, tomorrow they are not there. Let us take charge of our country. Thank you.
Thank you again for the opportunity to be here, to meet our government, to put faces with the names, and to be able to identify and really know where it is that we can be able to go to. What was said that this is the last time we'll see you, that if we're able to, when we come to Kenya, we're not going to be able to see you. We are sure that those people who are here, that's not going to happen, correct? No. My parents are from Kitui County, so I'm glad that my governor is here, Honorable Gilu. So I will make that connection. So when I come home in December, I know where to go to and where to address my concerns. And I am the solution. I don't say I as in winning, but I as a woman, I am your solution. So I will come back to Kitui and bring my answer there. I have the resources, I have the money, I have the will, I have the ability. I will do that. I have been married into Kisumu and Kano. So I am coming home. That is my county. I am coming to make a difference, right? And again, I is not Mweni, but I is that every woman here who has that solution. So don't look too far. We are here to make that answer, and we are your answer.
Wow. Please give a big round of applause for our very great panelists. I was afraid I was not going to have any audience for this session, but we have tried, and I think we've made very good and lively engagements for this session. I want to just call the moderator to come and, sorry, I wanted to give first of all our chair of Council of Governors before I call moderator to just make, we are really almost on closing remarks. Yes, Chair, you have the floor. The DG Mary.
He will do the...
We agreed that he does the vote of thanks?
Yeah. I want to respond to a few issues. That
just a few issues, yeah.
Asante. I want to respond to a few issues that have been raised here, which I didn't hear anyone answering. But first, I want to begin with a bigger barrier. And this is something that I learned from the session with the US governors the other day. That opportunities here are enticing. 53% of mid-level jobs remain unfilled. 43% of highly skilled jobs remain filled. So 6 million vacancies are available within the United States. But see, this gives me a bigger worry in how to balance this with our need for the deficits we have back home. How will we balance this? Can we manage the big remuneration that America can pay back home whilst we are still dealing with so many social issues that require huge capital expenditure. I think that is something I want to throw to the diaspora. Because you can say this about home, but then there are enticing opportunities here that does not take us back home, but make many of the other skilled people back home to come here. Having said that, there was a question that came on the spiraling wage bill, the expensive devolution that Kenya has embarked on. I think Kenyans took that decision to experiment on a governance structure that they believe is going to benefit them in terms of development work. So that is something we have to bite, particularly on the area of devolution, because if you were to weigh the expenditure and weigh the benefits the local mwananchi is getting in the rural areas, tackling priorities that the central government was not dealing with or the technocrats were ignoring, then you will see that there was justification in spending that big amount of money for them to be able to gain something. But we do realize that our expenditure on wages, our expenditure on recurrent has been very high. And their effort to work on that, first, number one, when it comes to devolved units, the county government executive and the county assemblies were the biggest expenditures of recurrent. So our institutions that are oversighting, and basically the control of budget, the Commission of Revenue Authority, have put ceilings onto the amount we can spend on recurrent. And those are ceilings that have been respected in our budgets. I know the controller will not approve a budget that has exceeded a ceiling that has been set. So I think, to me, that is a very good control. Also, the Council of Governance and all counties working closely with the National Ministry of Public Service. We embarked on a program called Capacity Assessment and Rationalization of the Public Service. This is a program that was begun in 2015. A report is available, trying to rationalize a percentage of 70-30 between the skilled labor force and the non-skilled labor force. We haven't implemented this program yet. It is right now in front of the summit where we're discussing it. We hope that by early next month, we will make a decision at a summit level on how we can be able to rationalize this so that we can even have a balance. Because right now, there are certain counties that are overhired personnel. There are certain counties with very huge deficits. There are certain critical areas where we have a very, very huge shortage. Take, for example, teachers. Even though the teachers are eating up a huge part of our budget, but we still have almost 150,000 shortfall of ECD teachers, of primary school teachers, of secondary school teachers. What do? Because we need education to reach out, even to the rural countryside. Same with nurses. I think the ratio is appealing. We've got about 8 nurses to 10,000 Kenyans. Is that acceptable? The only thing that you in the diaspora can help us leverage and deal with this is finding solutions through technology on how we can be able to leverage this shortfall. Because if we recruit sufficient nurses as per WHO regulations, then it means we will have to utilize 95% of the whole budget on paying salaries. One thing that we got in Santa Fe in the discussions is that states here are beginning to leverage on technology to provide services and cut down on the number of nurses that are required, because they also have a very big shortfall of nurses. And I think diaspora, bringing technology that can be utilized, help us with that technology, sell it if you can, but help your country be able to leverage on those particular shortfalls. Finally, the issue of easy service. I know the national government together with us, I think we've combined together to put up Huduma centers in the headquarters of every county. I don't see no reason why at the Kenyan Embassy in Washington, why there should not be a Huduma center to serve the diaspora. And probably not even in Washington, but in our embassies, a similar type of Huduma center that can provide combined services to you. So I think that should be one of the key recommendations of this meeting. And I want to promise you the discussions we've held here and the recommendations we've made, I will bring this matter to the attention of the President and the Deputy President. Thank you.
Wonderful. So you can see we are all committed, and I think I will do a disservice to the great people of Meru County if I don't allow their representative to say